Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
Today, we're kind of like zooming in, on the world of electric vehicles.
Yeah.
And we're asking like a really interesting question. Why does it seem like Renault is pulling ahead of these giants like Stellantis and Volkswagen? You know what I mean? We're going to be checking this out through the lens of a recent Tech Radar article all about the new Renault 5 electric car.
The electric car market is for sure getting interesting, and to see a company like Renault making these bold moves is pretty intriguing.
This new Renault 5, it's not just another EV.
Right.
It's like a modern revival of a classic French car.
And that's what's creating a lot of buzz. It manages to be both stylish and affordable, a combo that could really shake things up in the EV market.
Okay, so let's break down what makes this car and Renault's strategy so interesting. The Renault 5, it's not just a car.
Yeah.
It's a piece of French history.
It really is. The original model came out way back in the 1970s, during the fuel crisis, and it became the symbol of practicality and even freedom for a lot of French people.
Yeah, and it was massive success, selling over 5.5 million units worldwide, like a true icon. So what's Renault doing here? What's their play?
Relaunching the 5 as an EV is actually a brilliant strategy. They're tacking into that nostalgia, but they're also addressing the growing demand for electric cars, especially affordable ones.
It's like they found a way to give people what they want before they even knew they wanted it. But what really caught my eye was the price.
Yeah.
It's incredibly competitive.
It is.
The Renault 5 starts at around £23,000.
Wow.
Which is about $30,000 or AU 45,000.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And the top-end model, it's only around £27,000. Roughly $35,000, and AU $52,000. That's amazing for an EV, especially with all the features it has.
It's a really interesting strategy, and we've actually seen it before. Remember the successful relaunches of the Fiat 500 and the Mini? This shows how strong brand identity and unique features can be a winning formula in the EV market.
Speaking of unique features, the Renault 5 is full of them. One that really stood out to me was the external battery charge indicator.
Yeah, what's so clever about that is how they integrated it into the design. They made it look like the air intake on the classic Renault 5 Turbo.
Yeah.
It's a cool nod to the car's sporty history.
And it's not just for looks. It's super practical too. It's split into 5 sections, and each one shows 20% of the battery charge. You can instantly see how much you've got left.
That's a great example of how Renault is blending function and personality. And let's not forget those winking headlights.
Oh yeah, those are adorable. When you walk up to the car, the headlights come on and they do this little wink. It's like it's saying hello.
It's definitely a playful touch that adds to the car's charm. Then there's the music you hear when you start the car.
Oh yeah, this is my favorite little detail. When you turn on the infotainment system, it plays music by Jean-Michel Jarre, the famous French composer. It's such a cool and unexpected touch.
It really does set the mood for the drive. These little things might seem small on their own, but when they all come together, they create a truly unique and memorable experience for the driver.
And that's what really sets the Renault 5 apart. It's not just about getting from A to B, it's about the whole experience.
Yeah.
And speaking of experience, the interior of this car is really impressive for its price.
Absolutely. You get those figure-hugging bucket seats with a fabric pattern inspired by the Renault 5 Turbo. And every trim level has 2 digital displays, a 10-inch driver display and a 10-inch infotainment screen. In the entry-level models, though, the driver display is a bit smaller at 7 inches.
It's tech that feels approachable, which I really like. Some cars these days feel like you need to be a computer programmer to work the radio.
That's why I think Renault's approach is so refreshing. They've focused on making the tech seamless and easy to use, something that integrates into your life without being too overwhelming.
And they've nailed it with their OpenR Link system, which is powered by Google. Having Google Maps built right in is a game changer for navigating in an EV.
It really is. It shows you where charging stations are in real time. And it even considers your remaining range to suggest the best route.
That's a big deal for EV drivers.
Yeah, it is.
It's like having a mini computer in your car. One feature that I found particularly interesting was the My Safety switch, a physical button that lets you deactivate all the active safety systems.
That's interesting. It brings up a thought-provoking point about how drivers want to interact with technology in their cars. Some prefer more control over their driving, while others really appreciate the assistance of those safety systems.
I think the My Safety switch is a good compromise. It gives you the choice. But even with all the tech turned off, the Renault 5 is still a blast to drive.
It's designed to be agile and responsive, perfect for zipping around city streets. It's also surprisingly capable. You can actually tow a trailer weighing up to 500 kilograms.
That's more than some bigger EVs can handle.
Right.
And it's all thanks to that multi-link rear suspension,
Right.
which gives it incredible grip and handling.
It's clear Reddit put a lot of thought into the driving experience. They want it to be enjoyable, whether you're running errands or going on a road trip.
And they've achieved that without making it feel overly complicated.
Yeah.
The Renault 5 is a car that anyone can jump in and enjoy driving.
It really shows Renault's commitment to creating cars that are both innovative and accessible. And speaking of innovation, let's dive into the heart of the Renault 5, its power and range.
You've got two powertrain options. The more powerful one has a 110 kilowatt electric motor that delivers 150 ADP and a 52 kilowatt battery pack.
That gives you a range of about 250 miles on a single charge. Plenty for most daily commutes and weekend adventures.
And if you choose the smaller 90 kilowatt motor with 120 AP and the 40 kilowatt battery, you still get a respectable 190 miles of range.
Those figures are very competitive for a small EV, showing that Renault isn't skimping on performance or practicality.
And the best part, they're doing all this while staying incredibly affordable. It feels like they've cracked the code for a mass-market EV that really delivers on all fronts.
It's a fascinating development in the EV landscape, and it's definitely putting pressure on manufacturers like Stellantis and Volkswagen, who are primarily focused on more expensive models.
It makes you wonder if this is the future of electric cars, a blend of nostalgia, cutting-edge tech, and a price that makes it accessible to a much wider audience.
It's a compelling argument. Now let's delve a little deeper into why this approach might be giving Renault such an edge over its competitors. So one key factor is Renault's focus on the small car segment. Stellantis and Volkswagen. They do have some offerings in this category, but their main focus seems to be on larger, more premium EVs.
It's like they're aiming for the luxury market, while Renault's going after the heart of the mass market, people who want an electric car but don't need a huge SUV.
Exactly, and that's a smart move because that's where a lot of the potential EV buyers are. Renault is catering to them with a car that's stylish, fun to drive, and most importantly, affordable.
And they're not sacrificing features or technology to get that affordable price point. The Renault 5 is still packed with all the bells and whistles.
It's a well-rounded package, and I think that's what's resonating with consumers. They're getting everything they want and need without having to break the bank.
Yeah, it's refreshing to see a market that often feels dominated by those expensive high-end models. Plus, let's not forget the power of nostalgia. Renault is tapping into a rich history with the R5. And that's creating a lot of buzz.
Absolutely. People have these fond memories of the original Renault 5, and now they're excited to see it reimagined for the electric age.
It's a clever marketing strategy because it creates an emotional connection with consumers, and it helps the Renault 5 stand out from the competition.
Yeah, it's like they're saying, hey, remember this cool car from your past? Well, it's back and it's better than ever.
And it's working.
Yeah.
The Renault 5 is generating a lot of anticipation, and I think it has the potential to be a real success story.
I think so too. It's a car that's appealing to both young and old, which is so important for EV adoption. It can't just be about appealing to early adopters. It needs to reach a wider audience. You're right.
Renault seems to understand that they're making electric cars that are both desirable and attainable.
That's a winning combination, and I think it's going to put them in a very strong position as the EV market grows. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Stellantis and Volkswagen respond, because right now, Renault is setting a new standard for what an affordable and appealing EV can be.
I'm curious about the actual driving experience. What's it like to get behind the wheel of the Renault 5?
Well, it's a fun car to drive. It's agile and responsive, which makes it great for city driving, but it's also enjoyable on winding country roads.
The article mentioned that it has a multi-link rear suspension. What does that even mean for the average driver?
Okay, so a multi-link rear suspension basically means the car handles bumps and dips in the road more smoothly, so it makes for a more comfortable ride. It also improves grip and stability, especially when you're cornering.
Got it.
So it's not just about being quick, it's about handling well in all sorts of conditions.
So the Renault 5 is both sporty and comfortable, which is a nice combination. The article also mentioned that it's surprisingly capable for a small car. It can tow a trailer weighing up to 500 kilograms.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which is pretty impressive. It opens it up to a wider range of drivers, maybe someone who wants to tow a small camper or a boat.
Speaking of appealing to a wide range of drivers, let's talk about the tech features. What are some of the standouts in the Renault 5?
Well, the OpenR Link system, powered by Google, is a big one. It seamlessly integrates Google Maps into the car's navigation system, which is crucial for EVs.
Why is that so important for EV drivers?
Because you need to be able to find charging stations easily and plan your routes accordingly. The OpenR Link system does that brilliantly. It shows you charging station locations and even tells you if they're available. It also takes your remaining range into account when it's suggesting routes, so you don't get stranded.
That's super helpful. And what about other apps? Can you access things like Spotify or podcasts?
Absolutely. The OpenR Link system gives you access to the Google Play Store, so you can download all your favorite apps.
That's amazing. It's like having a smartphone built right into the dashboard.
Exactly, and it's all controlled through a beautiful 10-inch touchscreen display that's super intuitive and easy to use.
The article also mentioned that the Renault 5 has an AI assistant named Reno.
Right, so Renault is designed to be your co-pilot. It can answer questions about the car, help you navigate, and even control some of the car's functions.
So it's like having a personal assistant right there with you in the car.
That's the idea. And it's powered by ChatGPT, which means it can handle a wide range of queries.
Now let's shift gears and talk about the design. What are your thoughts on the overall look of the Renault 5?
I think it's a very attractive car. It's modern and stylish, but it also has like a certain retro charm to it.
The article mentioned that it takes inspiration from the classic Renault 5 Turbo.
You can definitely see those influences. The overall shape is similar, and there are those little details that pay homage to the original car, like the external battery charge indicator that's styled to look like the air intake on the turbo.
It's those little touches that really make the Renault 5 special. It feels like a car with personality.
And it definitely stands out in a world of like increasingly generic-looking EVs. The Renault 5 is a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it's a car that makes you smile, which is something that's often missing from modern cars.
I agree. There's a certain joyfulness to the Renault 5. It's a car that's designed to be fun and enjoyable to drive, and I think that's something that people will really appreciate.
Now, how does the Renault 5 fit into the bigger picture of the EV landscape?
I think it's a potential game changer. It has the potential to make EVs more accessible to a much wider audience.
Because of its affordability.
Yes, but also because of its overall appeal. It's stylish, fun to drive, and packed with technology. It's a car that can appeal to a wide range of buyers, not just eco-conscious early adopters.
So it's a car for everyone, which is what we need to see more of in the EV market.
Exactly, and I think that's what's so exciting about it. It has the potential to really move the needle on EV adoption.
It's also putting pressure on other car manufacturers to step up their game.
Absolutely. Competition is always a good thing. It drives innovation and brings prices down, which ultimately benefits consumers.
You know, the article we're discussing focuses on the European market. Do you think the Renault 5 has the potential to be successful in other markets, like North America or Asia?
Yeah, I think it definitely has potential. It's a car that ticks a lot of boxes for a global audience. It's stylish, affordable, and technologically advanced.
It does seem like Renault has, really hit on a winning formula. But I'm curious about the challenges they might face. The EV market is evolving so rapidly. What are some hurdles they might encounter with the Renault 5?
Well, one big challenge is like keeping up with the constant advancements in battery technology, you know? The race to improve range, charging speed, battery lifespan, it never stops. And if Renault falls behind in this area, it could impact the 5's competitiveness.
Yeah, that's a good point. Range anxiety is still a concern for a lot of potential EV buyers. They want to know they can go a decent distance before needing to recharge.
Exactly. And while the Renault 5's range is good for its size and price, new battery tech could quickly make those numbers look less impressive. Renault needs to stay ahead of the curve to make sure the 5 stays a top contender.
So they can't just rest on their laurels.
Right.
It's not just about the tech itself, though. The charging infrastructure also needs to keep up. We need more charging stations, and the ones we have need to be more reliable. Like for EVs to truly go mainstream, that infrastructure is critical.
You're absolutely right. A strong charging network is essential, especially for people who can't charge at home. Renault will need to work with governments and private companies to make sure charging is convenient and accessible for everyone who buys a Renault 5.
It's a big puzzle with a lot of pieces that need to fit together.
It is.
Another challenge, of course, is competition. Other car manufacturers are also pouring resources into EVs.
Yeah, we're seeing new electric models hitting the market all the time, and some are aiming at the same target audience as the Renault 5. Renault can't afford to become complacent. They need to keep innovating and refining their offerings to stay ahead of the pack.
It sounds like they need to always be thinking a few steps ahead. What about consumer perception? EVs still face some skepticism and misconceptions.
That's true. Some people are concerned about the environmental impact of manufacturing and disposing of batteries. Others have questions about the safety of EVs. Renault needs to address these concerns head-on through education and transparent communication.
It's about building trust with consumers and debunking those myths. But along with the challenges, There are also some exciting opportunities for Renault, right?
Definitely. The EV market is still in its early stages, and there's enormous potential for growth. If Renault plays their cards right, the 5 could become a global hit.
They could capture a huge share of the market, especially if they stick to their strategy of affordability and accessibility. What other opportunities do you see?
Well, those advancements in battery tech that we talked about as a challenge, those could also be a huge opportunity. If Renault can get next generation batteries into the 5, they could significantly boost its range and performance.
That would give them a serious edge over the competition, and it would make the 5 even more attractive to buyers.
Absolutely. Another opportunity is in software and connectivity. As cars become smarter and more connected, Renault could use its OpenR Link system to offer innovative features and services.
Things like personalized driving experiences,
Hmm.
advanced driver assistance systems, and even over-the-air software updates.
Exactly. They could turn the 5 into a platform for constant innovation. They could even partner with other companies to broaden the car's capabilities.
Like teaming up with tech companies or mobility service providers, it really feels like the possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
So zooming out to the bigger picture, what does all this mean for the future of Renault and the EV market as a whole?
I think Renault is in a fantastic position to be a leader in the EV revolution. They have a strong product in the 5, they're committed to innovation, and
Mm.
they seem to really understand what consumers want. If they can
Yeah.
handle the challenges and seize those opportunities, they could truly shape the future of mobility.
It's incredibly exciting to watch the automotive industry transform. And it's fascinating to see a company like Renault taking such a bold and innovative approach. But what does this mean for you, the listener? Why should you care about the Renault 5 and the broader shift towards electric vehicles?
Well, on a practical level, the rise of EVs means more choices for you as a consumer. You'll have a wider range of vehicles that are more efficient, more sustainable, and more technologically advanced. And as competition heats up, prices will continue to drop, making EVs more attainable for everyone.
It's not just about the cars themselves. It's about a fundamental shift in how we think about transportation. It's about building a cleaner, more sustainable future.
Exactly. And the Renault 5 is a great example of how innovation and ingenuity can drive that change.
Ultimately, it's up to all of us to embrace these possibilities and be a part of this exciting journey. So what do you think about the Renault 5 and the future of electric cars? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and let's keep the conversation going. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to like and subscribe. We'll be back soon with another fascinating topic.